Hi, in this video we are making portable folding shelves that are perfect for setting up at a craft fair. They're portable, they're lightweight, they don't take up a lot of space, and they're cost effective. So the frames for these are made out of 1x4 material, which is 3.5 inches wide and it's 3/4 inches thick. So pine board, pine 1x4. I'm going to use 4 10-footers. If you have 8-footers, you're going to need 5 pieces. And we're going to do 4 pieces at 72 inches and 8 pieces at 17 inches. And side note, this design allows it to be customizable, so you can make it taller or wider if you want to. And also all the cut list and the instructions and also plans are available on my blog at woodcraftblueprint.com. There's a link below in the description, so you can also print that along to follow along if you'd like. So let's go ahead and get started cutting. So this first piece is at 72 inches. And then 2 more at 17 inches. So you'll get 3 pieces out of each 10-foot board. Basically just really want to soften up these sharp edges because I'll be handling this a lot. The next thing we're going to do is make marks on each board. So from the bottom to the top, I'm going to make marks. I'm going to measure and mark at 26 inches, 50 inches, and 66 inches. Repeat that for the second board. And then I'm going to take my framing square and actually draw a perpendicular line on each board. This is going to help me later when I line up my shelving. Now we're going to start assembling. We're going to get our boards perfectly parallel to one another. I like to use the edge of my workbench as a straight edge, as a starting point. And then there's going to be a 10 inches in between each board. So just kind of start getting it where it needs to be about, nothing exact yet. And then you're going to take your shelf supports and we're going to place them. Start at the very bottom, and this is going to take a couple minutes to get it all square. So where your mark is, I'm going to line up each shelf support right on that line. And these lines kind of help guide us and also make sure that we are square. So these boards, they need to be even. If it helps, take a straight edge and put it on the end. We want the boards to be even and the frame to be square. Once you have those placed, we're going to attach. I'm going to use a crown stapler with 1 1/4 inch narrow crown staples. You can use brad nails if you want, or you can also use screws as well. And to start, I will put 1 staple on each side, and then I'll put 4 to 5 total. Now we are going to put our hinges later on the top and the bottom. So don't get too carried away with the staples so that we still have room to put screws in that are going to be used to attach our hinges with. Alright, so our first frame is done. Now we're going to repeat this process and make a total of 4. So you're going to do this a few more times. Once you're done with your second frame, we're going to go ahead, lay them next to each other, and I'm going to get these door hinges on. So what I'm using are called 3-inch squeak-free door hinge actually, a matte black from Harbor Freight. So you don't want too small of a hinge, but you don't need to go too big. What I like to do is place these where they're gonna go, make sure they fold flat, because if you were to reverse it, you could get stuck. So put them where you need them. And I'm gonna put a little bit of a gap in between the boards, just so there's some wiggle room. So not a big gap, just no bigger than 1/8, just a little gap here. And I like the door hinges too because they're heavier. If you were to use a lighter weight utility, the hinges, they're very loose, they're very free, where these are, they swing tighter, so there's more resistance, so that I think that it will make these shelves a little bit sturdier too. I'm putting the pin right in the center of that gap there, and then I'm going to attach them. This came with screws, and we can use this length because this is 1 1/4 inches together, and the screw length is 1 inch. Need a Phillips head for these. If you have a nail or a staple that's in the way of where you need to put a screw, I wouldn't worry about it. Just leave it, because like I said, this is all very lightweight. You don't need 6 screws at each hinge. Get the screws in, you can go ahead and make sure that it folds like you need it to. And then repeat this so you can get the other set of frames with hinges on them. For the shelves themselves, I'm using 1x10s, so it's 9 1/4 inches wide. You can use a combination of boards too to get whatever width you want. Also, I cut these are 6 foot, so this shelf, if you want yours longer, then you would use longer boards, okay? So let's get this set up. Take one side. And there you have it, a portable shelving display unit.